So we're going to tackle the fuel system on this thing right now. How we got the car up and running for the time being is just leaving the entire stock BMW. How we got the car running so far is just leaving the stock BMW fuel system in place. So this is the feed line off the N52, and we just put an adapter here to go to a 3/8 quick release to plug into the LS rail. That'll get it running, but you're only running on the single lift pump. In this case, the N52 car has, and it won't get you very far. So there's a few different options you can do. The easiest option is to just drop a in-tank pump into the stock location. So in these cars, there's a sending unit under the driver's seat that has the filter and the regulator, and then on the passenger side is where the pump is. It's a saddle tank design, so there's siphons that try to get all the fuel to go to the passenger side for the pickup, sends it to the driver's side through the filter, dumps excess pressure through the siphons and pushes it back to the other side of the tank, then goes out to the front of the car, which we have hooked up right now. So what we're going to do in this car is we're going to use this radium engineering setup, which replaces the driver's side filter and regulator. And this is actually a surge tank. So this little tank here is fed by the stock pump, which now becomes a lift pump and dumps into here. And then inside of this, you can install two pumps. In our case, we're gonna put two Walbro 450s. And what's really nice about this is it leaves all the stock Venturis and everything in place, so you don't have any fuel pickup issues. Once you start getting into this tank, it's pretty complicated if you've never seen one before. I made that mistake on my car and I took it all out, and then I could only use about half a tank of fuel before running out. So on this car, we're gonna approach it with this. This is a little expensive option, but it's a really nice part. Comes with all the fittings, has a built-in regulator, really nice electrical hookups for each pump and the level. Nice low profile banjo fittings. This is a -8 feed. Also includes some wiring, nice relays, and all the hardware and the plumbing you'll need for the pumps. Also has some really good instructions. So we're gonna get the seats torn out and start putting this in. You don't wanna go with this option. The next easiest way to approach one of these fuel systems is to just get a surge tank and mount it externally. So you're gonna use your stock lift pump to feed into a surge tank, and then you're gonna put your high pressure, high flow pumps in the surge tank, which will run up front to a return style regulator and dump back into the surge tank or into the stock tank. Again, that way you leave all of your siphons and Venturis that are in the stock saddle tank alone, and you don't have to mess with any of that. Some of the guys that are coming from an N54 setup that already have a low side fuel system, basically it's a 450 or two 450s in the tank. You can use that system as is, because most of them already take advantage of all the plumbing that's in the tank as far as the Venturis and the lift pumps or the return pumps to the pickup side of the tank. So whichever option you do, you just need to make sure you don't disrupt that stock system, or else you'll only be able to use about half a tank. So once you pull your rear seat out, this has a couple clips you pull up on the front, it pops out. Underneath of this in the back seat, you have two lids. This car, somebody's already been in here before, so this is disconnected, but you have one sender here, and this is the feed line and the level connector. And then on this side, again, you have the main pump and another sending unit. So the radium setup replaces this, and replaces this feed line with that -8 AN. So we're gonna pull this out, and then we're just gonna follow the radium instructions for this install. All right, so to install this radium unit, you have to remove the driver's side top hat, bulkhead, and then what you're gonna find out is you have to disconnect the big vent line from the bottom side of the fuel hat. That comes from right here. And then there's two flex lines that go to the driver's side that pull off.
These just kind of clip on to the sending unit. And then there's the feed line that comes off the pump. This one has a little clip. You kind of have to reach down in there, push this little clip in, and then pull this off of the fuel pump. So the fuel pump's sitting right there. That's where this one went. And now we should be able to pull this unit out passenger side or the driver's side. Now that those lines are free, this stuff should be free. If we can get the sending unit out. So that's these 3 lines there. That's the full unit out of the driver's side that's going to be replaced with the radium unit. Alright, so to put this radium surge in, what we're going to do is remove this sending unit. This is going to get attached to here, so we need to cut these 2 wires up here. They're going to connect at the bottom side of the new hat. And we're also going to remove the outlet side venturi tube. So this is what goes up to the filter. So that's going to get cut off, and a new flex hose is going to go from this venturi down to the feed on the bottom side of this tank. We're also going to remove the fuel pressure return line, this tubing, out of this bundle. This won't be reused. So the stock pump that's on the passenger side is going to feed through the venturi, suck lift fuel from the driver's side sump, and feed into here. And the venturi fuel is then going to go back to the passenger side. So we got everything off we need. We got the stock venturi, fuel sender, and what's going to hook up back to the stock pump. So that's still going to send fuel across the venturi. It's going to pick up fuel from the driver's side and send it back to the passenger side just like stock, while using this to fill this surge tank. Got this all put together. All the pumps are in there. Lines hooked up, senders on it. We're gonna drop this back in the driver's side. These 2 lines are going over to the passenger side, getting hooked up to the pump and the siphon return. And then we're gonna put the passenger side top hat back on. We got everything disconnected right now. Tie into this stock fuel pump wire to trigger the relay for the new pumps that are in there. Okay. At least the first one, and then the second pump will just trigger off the Holly. All right, it's all in. So we got the rest of this fuel set up, all finished up. We got our new hot wires to one of the in-tank pumps. We only have one wired up right now. The second pump's wired over here. We also have the stock level, 2 ring terminals on them. That's going to go down there on the level section. And we have our boost reference run to the front. This line is pretty tough to get run down the front of the tank, but if you reach down in the front, there's a groove where the stock fuel line runs. So the easiest way I found out to do it was I ran a piece of TIG wire or a piece of coat hanger or something like that down the front. Then you can guide it up from the bottom can just tape the piece of fuel line to the piece of wire and pull it up with somebody pushing it from the bottom. But that part's about wrapped up. And then we just need to plumb the front of the car on the front side of this feed line. Can I have that marker? I have the ground.
You mean to hold something or?
I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Fail.
This way so we can get some intake. Let's spin this compressor. So cold side's gonna go through here. Cold side's gonna go on top of the hot side, so I'll have it like that. Spin that compressor at 180.
I don't hate that. Got mostly everything wrapped up. Wires tidied up, a little bit of an intake made. Go ahead. Some exhaust on it. Sounds good. In here now. Got to mount the screen still. Got a new shifter boot. Out of a manual car to replace the automatic one. Real shift knob. Gotta let some oil burn off from having no dipstick. She's ready to go for a cruise. Frank's car on the dyno. Finished up a few things under here, made up a little intake, cleaned up some wiring, got the cowl cover back on, got the CAN box plugged in. So this is the outlet side of the box. We'll get into some more detail about the CAN box after I have a picture I can show you guys. This one has the first prototype of the new style, but it plugs right in on the Holley CAN connector. It has a male and female plug, so you still have one to plug into either your 4-inch screen or your tuning screen. He's got his wheels all set up.
and we're gonna see what it makes today.
Third gear rip, no tuning really. 334. So now he's gonna do Tell us what this is, Frank.
This is an LS1 intake manifold, stock 706 heads, an LQ4 dish piston 6.0, stock 5th gen manifolds off of Camaro, 2.5-inch exhaust, all the way back, white pipe.
Yeah, I carried it farther.
That's actually a lot up there.
That's a lot. I picked up 6 horsepower.
Oh, let's try it.
Oh, we're going. All right, time to it's time to James this shit. Give you a.
Hey, actually, it's got 1500s. Hey, you only got one 450, right?
Picked up 6 horsepower.
But it picked up a lot on the gas.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, that's more like.
Can you? That's what I was saying. Can you make this more?
Like, that's 10, 20, 30. So each of those are 10. So it picked up more than
Picked up like
10 on the
20.
difference, 20 on the difference
Yeah.
on top end.
She's choking. Guys, that's going to do it for Frank's BMW build. This was the NA portion, and stay tuned. Very soon we'll be coming back with the turbo kit build, and we'll see what kind of numbers it lays down. We ended up making 360 to the tire on this very simple combo 6.0. So we'll see what happens when we throw a little boost at it coming up shortly. Not sure when, but you know, we'll put out some some feelers and some information whenever we're getting ready to do that segment. So until then, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and check out some of the other stuff we're doing. We got a bunch of project cars on the channel that we will be updating with, as well as Michael's OG BMW will be making an appearance as he gets that thing lined out and does some more work to it. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch y'all later.